Okay, good afternoon, my dear students. So, how's your day going? Great, great. I can see eager faces to learn. That's good. Before we begin our day's lesson, I would like to congratulate you once again for the job well done last session. We've actually only aimed for 10 new vocabulary words, but we got 20 new vocabulary words. That's a great job. So keep up the good work. And for today, we are aiming to modify a famous story by creating our own outline of it. And from that outline, we shall create a draft. And from that draft, we shall finalize our own composition of that story. Okay, so first of all, I would like you all to recall a famous story you've known as a child. Anyone? Yes, Paul, Pinocchio. The boy whose nose grows so longer whenever he tells a lie. That's good. Yes, Gemma. Cinderella. Yes, that's right. The one who found a prince because of magic slippers. The glass slippers. Okay. What else? The Lion King. Yes, about Simba. And he's becoming a new Lion King. Okay, that's great. What made this story so memorable? What do you think? They're movies. Yeah, there are movies for these stories. Okay, so basically these stories are famous. They've been actually immortalized because of these movies. But may I ask you once more, what could be the highlight of these stories? Okay? Yes, Anne? The highlight for you for Hansel and Gretel is battling with a witch. Yes, that's so intense, right? Who would win, Hansel and Gretel or the powerful witch? Okay? But the highlight for Hannah, for Hansel and Gretel story is finding a candy house. Yes, where else could we find candy houses these days? But do you think, from the stories that you recall, are they realistic? No, not exactly, right? But do they have morals? Yes, they have. And they have actually ignited your imagination because they added elements that don't actually happen in the real world, but are somehow enchanting in the eyes of a child. And there's a way, in the author's way of telling the story, that makes it believable and also interesting, right? It catches your imagination, it catches your attention. But let me ask you, if the author would actually allow you, learners, to modify the story, would you? Are there some things in the story you'd like to change, you'd like to modify? Because that's our topic for today, modifying a story. Yes, there are. No? The story's okay for you, that's good. But for some, there are some parts they'd like to modify. Are there characters you want to add? Okay, that's great. So, for this part, I would like to present to you my own version of Cinderella. See here? Here is an outline of a Cinderella modified by me. And I entitled it Intelligent Cinderella. So what actually happened in the story? So first, Cinderella and her dad were actually living peacefully together. Cinderella's mom passed away when she was a child, leaving her dad and herself to live a contented life, contented with each other's company, until Cinderella's dad remarried. That adds her stepmother and her two stepsisters along with Cinderella's household. That makes five of them. And then, unfortunately, Cinderella's dad died. So from her dad's death came new changes in their home. So what changes were there? Cinderella were given heavy roles, heavy tasks, heavy household chores to do, leaving Cinderella very little time to study. However, this did not stop her from learning new things because in the morning, at day, she does her household chores, and at night, she goes to Coursera to learn a free online session of her lessons. Okay, see, it's a good student, right? And then one day, there was an invitation for all people in the village, a mayor's invitation. So the mayor actually invited each student to present their what do you think? Their proposal on the city's solid waste issues. And this was a topic of interest for Cinderella. And so she was really excited to go to the ball, to the gala, and present her study. But since Cinderella's stepmom and stepsisters were threatened, they were planning to give Cinderella so many things to do that she won't be able to finalize her proposal and present it tonight. So Cinderella, so brokenhearted, she wasn't even able to finish all the household chores given to her that day. She went to her room and cried at night. But fortunately, her neighbor heard her and called her. So Cinderella, why are you crying? I'm worried about you. And so Cinderella told her all about it, and her neighbor told her that, well, I might as well be a fairy godmother to you now because I've actually kept your previous proposal for the solid waste management, and you can actually present this tonight. You've made it yourself. And so Cinderella was so happy she prepared to go to the gala along with her proposal. And then at the gala, she was a bit late, but there was also one late proposal that came. It was from a guy named Andrew. And so they collaborated, and with their collaboration, the mayor actually acknowledged their work and chose both of them for the scholarship grant. And because of that scholarship grant, Cinderella didn't have to live with her stepmom and stepsisters anymore, and she's going to live to US now. And Andrew and Cinderella married, and they lived happily ever after, and they solved their village, the solid waste management issue of their village. So that is it. That's it for my own version of Cinderella. So for this segment, I would now like you to be grouped into 6. Yes, the numbers written on your desk, each of your desk, signify your group assignments. Okay, so there will be 4 members per group. Okay, that's right. But before I give you your instructions as a group, do you have any clarifications of the story? None. Okay, please proceed to your groups now. So basically, outlining is just pointing out the major events that happened. Also, it is entitled. And from the major events, there are important details written in bullet forms. Outlining is actually also a tool that would help you make an overview of your whole writing activity.